All right, so we cover a lot of smartphones on this channel. We take a look at various different brands, at least the ones that I can get my hands on and be able to try out and give you guys an experience. And yeah, what we don't cover a lot of on this channel happens to be things that I consider to be satellites for smartphones or things you would pair with your smartphone. And so I am going to start doing that for those people who may be interested out there. Um, yeah, so be expecting more videos, and today is one of those videos. And as a matter of fact, this video I decided to make, a question had popped up on Threads, and shout out to Shane for the inspiration to do this video. So somebody who uses the Pixel Watch, someone who has used the CMF watches, I feel like I am qualified to give you guys my thoughts, my opinions on these two specific devices that you can pair with your smartphone. And so, with that being said, that's what today's video is all about. So the first thing that I want to kind of just do is just tap into what's known out there in the Webernet and really just kind of share that with you guys, right? So this site is called versus.com. So it takes a lot of things and compares them side by side. And in today's video, we're focusing on the CMF Watch Pro 2. We're focusing on the Google Pixel Watch 3, the 41mm size. And so you kind of just see like what the overall consensus is when you kind of just look down the list of things. But where I initially want to go, first thing I want to do is just go at pricing, because this is a very, very big thing here, right? And in most places, brand new for the CMF Watch Pro 2, you're looking anywhere, between $40 to $78 in pricing, right? And with the Pixel Watch 3, you're looking anywhere from $185 to $250. And this is for brand new. If you're going to go used, well, then obviously, you're going to see some differences there, right? With the lowest for the Pixel Watch 3 that we got here is $148, and the lowest for the CMF Watch Pro 2 used is $30. So significant differences in pricing. Where I want to just kind of tap into is the specs, right? So screen size, the purple represents the CMF Watch Pro, or Watch Pro 2 basically, and the red represents the Pixel Watch 3. Well, down there at the bottom, you guys can see the little references right there. So anyways, yeah, you got a 1.3 inch display for the CMF Watch. You got a 1.2 inch for the Pixel Watch 3. Both are OLED and AMOLED displays. Both have waterproof to a degree. It's IP68. Both have, however, it says right here, 50 meters for the Pixel Watch 3 and 1.1 meters for the CMF Watch Pro 2. Pixel density, you have 353 pixels per inch for the CMF Watch Pro 2 and 320 for the Pixel Watch 3, with resolutions for the CMF Watch Pro 2 being 465, sorry, by 465, and no, 466. I don't even know why. Yeah, I'm blind today. And then 408 by 408 for the Pixel Watch 3. So generally, spec wise, I mean, there's things that the CMF Watch Pro competes against the Pixel Watch 3 on. As far as like how deep you can dunk it, that's, like in water, that's I don't really see too many people just like wanting to throw their phone their watch into the pool and just, let it sink to the bottom and see if they can just dive down in with one breath and catch it, so. But it's good to know that it has some form of water resistance, some form. But anyways, so I have them both right here, as you guys can see. I use them quite a bit, and so I am going to give you guys my thoughts on them. All right, guys. So I have to make this quick interjection because I forgot to mention something in this video, so I'm mentioning it now. But one other reason why the CMF Watch Pro 2, in my opinion, is a better watch, compared to the Pixel Watch 3 or even just Pixel Watches in general, is the ability to switch devices and switch pairing without having to reset the watch every time. Now, I know that the Pixel Watch 3 has the ability where you go into settings system and then you scroll all the way to the bottom and you hit transfer watch and you can transfer it to another device. Um, with the Watch Pro 2 and even the Watch Pro 3 and the regular Watch Pro, literally all you need is the companion app installed on the device that you're going to use and logged into the account that you created with the Nothing. It's the Nothing X app is what it's called now. But you're logged into your account with that Bluetooth pair, and boom, you're done. You don't have to reconfigure, reset up, redo anything. It's much faster switching devices with this watch compared to Pixel watches. All right, now back to the rest of it. So I have the Pixel Watch 3 and I've been using it for a little bit, right? I just recently got it. It's, it was a good deal. I got it for 75 bucks. So the pricing that was listed on the Versus site, I got it like way lower than what it would have been new, right? And the CMF Watch Pro 2, I got this last year, and yeah, I got it for, I think it was $51 and some change. Ordered it on Amazon and everything like that. So they're both really good watches. They really are. If I was to focus directly on battery life, the CMF Watch Pro does a fantastic job compared to the Pixel Watch 3. Like, I can get through a day with the Pixel Watch 3 when it comes to battery life. With the CMF Watch Pro 2, I can get up to about 8.5 days on a single charge. I have not charged this watch in a while. Like, I used it, I think, about 3 weeks ago. It was at 100%. And then I had powered it off and didn't use it. And was using the Pixel Watch 3 for a little bit. And then powered this, the CMF Watch Pro 2 back on and used it for like a day. And then turned it back off, and it's been sitting in my drawer. And this morning when I woke up, basically it is sitting at, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's sitting at 66% battery, which is not bad for pricing. Now, one of the big things that I am definitely going to point out is, of course, the operating system in both these watches. As the Pixel Watch 3 uses Wear OS 6, so you get a lot of that, Material 3 expressive, treatments to the watch interface itself. Let me unlock it real quick. But yeah, you can do a little bit more. Not do a little bit more, but you have just a lot more things basically tied to Android. Obviously, Wear OS is like the Android OS for watches basically. And for the most part, aesthetically, the design and everything looks pretty cool. So I won't even argue that point with people that's just like, Wear OS looks pretty cool. It does look pretty cool. With the CMF Watch Pro 2, it has proprietary software. And you know what? For the most part, to me, it's good in its own right. So for me, comparing Wear OS to the proprietary software on the CMF watch, there's not a drastic difference. There's really not. For what I use a smartwatch for, it's not a drastic difference. And how I use my smartwatches, obviously, is, primarily to get notifications on the fly without having to take my phone out of the pocket every single time. A notification comes in, I could quickly read it on my wrist and go about my day. Now, it does other things besides bring me notifications, like it's able to track my steps, to track walking and stuff like that. And I will tell you guys this, the Pixel Watch does seem a bit more accurate when it comes to measuring those statistics that it's gathering information compared to the CMF Watch Pro 2. Now, it's not to say that it's a horrible thing where it's like if I actually, used a pedometer and tracked my steps and say I walked 5,000 steps, the Pixel Watch 3 may clock me at like 4,987 steps. And, it's not a drastic difference where the CMF watch is clocking me at 6,000 steps. Like, no, it's not that inaccurate. It's very, very, very minor, very, very minor in all of that. So I would say the CMF Watch Pro 2, for example, would probably, compared to a pedometer's 5,000 step clock in, would probably put me anywhere between 4,800 and plus to about 4,900 and plus. So not too far off. So, but with smartwatches and how they collect your steps and stuff like that, it's not accurate. I would never follow the number precisely, as that's an accurate reading of the steps that I'm taking. And when I go for like a run, or if I go for a long walk, like a brisk kind of power walk, both are pretty good in tracking information that I want, and basically like the whole GPS routing, like where I walked and how long I walked and all that. It gets a pretty good reading, so both do really good on that. And as well as being a heart rate monitor, just counting my beats per minute, they're both pretty good at that. And my blood oxygen levels, my stress levels, and even my sleep, they're both good at tracking it. And yes, the CMF Watch Pro 2 uses an entirely different system. So you would have to use, which I'll show you guys here on my Pixel 10. I have it. It's pretty cool. Since, nothing pretty much like narrowed it down to just one app. But literally, that's what the app looks like. And you would just get all your information there: stress, active score, sleep, and if you tap into it, you can see like what your REM cycle was, deep sleep, and whatnot. It just pretty much like clocked in my nap that I took after doing Amazon Flex. So yeah, I took like an hour and 24-minute nap, so not bad. But yeah, you have this app, the Nothing X app is what it's called, and it's used to pair your Bluetooth audio like the CMF Buds Pro and the CMF watches. So you get access to that. You have all your health tracking done right there, which with the Pixel Watch 3, you rely on apps such as Fitbit to track those things, as well as the health. All those kind of like intertwined. And it's kind of confusing because it's multiple different apps, right? Like you have the watch app, the Pixel Watch app, which governs the connectivity between the Pixel Watch 3 and the smartphone you're using. So you have that app, and that's what you use for like watch faces and stuff like that. And then you have the health app plus the Fitbit app, and the Google Fit app. 4 apps total to present you with all this information. And I know that the Google Fit app and the health app pretty much deliver the same thing, and the Google Fit app and the Fitbit app deliver the same thing. But this is information that if you wanted all all 3 of those services to utilize, you have to have all 3 services. And with the CMF Watch Pro 2, and even with the earlier CMF Watch Pro, you don't need multiple apps. It's one app, and it gives you all the information that you need as far as like the health fitness tracking that these watches are capable of doing. So I gotta say, like, when it comes down to it, battery life, the CMF Watch Pro 2 pretty much beats out on the Pixel Watch 3. And then when it comes to companion app and just ease of information, I also give it to the CMF Watch Pro 2. Display and customizations as far as like watch faces and stuff like that, I would give that to the Pixel Watch 3. The Pixel Watch 3, you can use your Google Photos as a watch face, and I believe you can do something similar. I haven't tried in a while, but you can. But it's very generic, and it's weird because when you use your own photo for a watch face on either one of these, it just feels a little more generic compared to the types of watch faces that they have. They both have a good amount of watch faces, and you can find some usefulness in those watch faces. So yeah, both of them charge up when you connect them to their chargers at a pretty decent rate. But I would say the Pixel Watch 3 does charge up faster than the CMF Watch Pro 2, just not by like a large, like a very large gap in that. It's not like the Pixel Watch 3 charges in like an hour and the CMF Watch Pro takes like 6 hours to charge. It's nothing like that. Maybe a difference in like, 10 to 15 minutes difference. However, the CMF Watch Pro 2's battery lasts longer than the Pixel Watch 3. And yes, both of them, you can take phone calls from it. And man, this is going to really like sound so weird, but the CMF Watch Pro 2's phone calls, the sound from the speaker sounds so much better than on the Pixel Watch 3. Hey, I can hear my calls on the Pixel Watch 3, but they sound very low. Even if at like max volume, they sound really low. So it's like when I'm talking to somebody, I'm literally holding my wrist up so I can hear them, not so I can speak into the microphone. But with the CMF Watch Pro 2, I can keep my hands at a relatively good distance, or even just off to the side and just take the call. And I can hear them very clearly and very loud. So yeah, the CMF Watch Pro is really kicking the Pixel Watch 3's backside. And you know what? It just goes to show people, like, you don't always have to go with the well-branded, the well-recognized, the most expensive watches to have a very good experience. I'm sure there's tons of smartwatches from Fossil, smartwatches from G-Shock, smartwatches from just various different watch manufacturers. And then you have, the Galaxy watches, you have the Apple Watch, you have the Pixel Watch. And those are recognized by many millions of people. And, it would be like this would be the option for people to go to the Pixel Watch. And they would pass over something like this because they've never heard of CMF. They never really dealt with any CMF products, which CMF is a subsidiary of nothing. But I'll tell you guys this much. The CMF Watch Pro does a fantastic job at what most people would want out of a smartwatch. I'm literally telling you guys that. And, even the best part about this watch, compared to the Pixel Watch 3, I mean, the Pixel Watch 3 is lighter than the original Pixel Watch, but still kind of heavy on the wrist. And this is super light. Super light. The watch bands could be a little bit more comfortable, but, for the most part, it only really kind of hurts my wrist when I wear it to sleep because I'm moving around. So I'm probably shifting this up and down my wrist, and it causes like little marks that shows that it was wrapped tightly. And that's my fault. But for the most part, these are, they're flexible, they're soft, and they're very comfortable. I think aside from comfortability and lightness, yeah, the bigger display compared to the Pixel Watch 3. And then you have customizations, and it's not really a big deal when it comes to customizations for the CMF Watch Pro 2, because you just, you could take off this bezel right here and swap it for like a different bezel that's more rounded. You can get those from CMF, so that's like one of the things that CMF did just for like quirkiness and stuff, which is something that I like about CMF smartwatches and not just CMF alone, but other companies out there that tend to be a bit playful with technology. I like that. So, at the end of the day, while most people would say, well, the Pixel Watch 3 and with Google and AI and everything like that, that's cool. AI implemented into the watch. That definitely is something that the Pixel Watch 3 will definitely have over the CMF Watch Pro 2 is AI. But even then, like somebody like myself who's fascinated by AI, it'll go to show you guys that you don't necessarily need AI in everything. And I think that's the case point. That is the reason why for me, the CMF Watch Pro 2 is a better watch than the Pixel Watch 3. I said it. Yes. So, anyways, that's my thoughts about these two smartwatches versus the Versus website and what they have as far as their comparison findings. And just with the things that I said and the things that you read from Versus, and love to know your guys' thoughts on the entire situation with the watch in itself, how you guys feel about it, spec-wise on black and white. And if you have and own both of these watches, please feel free to comment your experience in the comment section of the video. I would love to read you guys' thoughts about it. and where you're kind of leaning towards between these two smartwatches, which, I'm going to do more coverage on them, updates and stuff like that, let you guys know how they're doing. So yeah, follow the channel for more of those types of videos and live streams as well. Thanks for checking out today's video. Happy Saturday to you guys. Enjoy your weekend as we are on the dawn of Thanksgiving weekend. And until then, aloha.